I just don't understand what I'm gonna do with Venti. He keeps coming home drunk every night. I tried applying him to one of those AA things, but he won't go. What am I supposed to do?
What are
wait.
you talking about?
We're recording! Yeah, hi! Welcome back to Dubster Dive, the show where we, break down an anime's English dub, or not even just anime anymore at this point, and to tell you why it sucks or why it doesn't suck, and in this case, it's definitely the former.
Yeah, it's like a dick that ended up in a place you don't even remember.
So, yeah... Platinum End is what happens to explain why the modern dub industry kinda sucks. For example, I mean, one thing I keep comparing it to is, well, it works like WWE. It's all political and BS. By that I mean, voice actors are constantly pushing each other down to get roles. Look no farther than the announcement for the dub of this, where they only revealed 2 voice actors, we'll get to in a minute. And, yeah. You could tell numerous voice actors have more or less confirmed this, Eric Rowan being one of them on several interviews with other YouTubers, like Ricada. Or even Matt Shipman talking about how now that he's in ADR director position, he realizes how fucked everything truly is. Probably because everyone's showing up, hey, you better put me in your show, man. Put me in your show or else. And yes, this dub is no different. The 2 mains they announced right away were Alejandro as Mirai, our protagonist, again we'll get to each character in a second, and Damon Mills, Revel, who's not even one of the major mains. Yeah, sure, he's a main character, but would you classify him as one of the 2 mains?
No.
Then why was he revealed first, proving they casted him first? Exactly. So, honestly, at the end of the day, as long as the dub product comes out good, then the consumer wins. Unfortunately, though, this is one case where it didn't. Oh god, it didn't. And I sat through this twice, I would know. Why didn't you join me for the 2nd time, Ty? Why would you do this to me?
I already suffered through it enough for 24 weeks. Or 5. I don't know. Well,
I guess we should finally get into what this series is for those who don't know, because obviously comparisons are going to be made to what this show is the more or less successor to. Platinum End is a manga that ran from 2013 to 2021, an 8-year running series that they compiled into a 24-episode anime. Why? And the manga is written by Sugumi Oba, with the illustrator being Takeshi Obata, the duo behind Death Note. If anyone out there is going to say they've never heard of Death Note, how? I mean, yeah, honestly, it's Death Note, guys, come on. So, the Death Note successor was given to Studio Signal MD for its anime. A studio that's done Dragon Goes House Hunting, and apparently worked on the Fate Grand Order Camelot first film or something. Either way, they're not used to doing 24-episode animes.
Didn't your research you say it might have been the phone intro?
It might have been the phone cutscene. It said Film 1 Camelot, so I don't know exactly what it is. I just know they did Dragon Goes House Hunting and worked on a couple of other things too, like... It says they worked on Napping Princess, which that's a fan-favorite film. Or over or something. So I don't know. My guess is here they're not used to working on 24-episode animes that run continuously, because you're saying the animation is garbage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The characters, from what everything I've seen from what you were saying, look off model. The action shots look really awkward. A character's hair flowing in the wind. You said it just...
Literally, like, 3 frames of animation.
Yeah.
Might as well be stop motion.
And remember, guys, this isn't some, like, CD tier anime no one heard of. Like, it's done by the guys that did fucking Death Note. Which, yeah, I'm one of those basic bitches. Death Note was one of my top 5 favorite series of all time, so I was probably more hyped than a lot of people going into this anime. Speaking of which, guess we should go into what it's about. So, apparently, in this universe, God is dying, so he needs a successor. Thus, he tasks his 13 angels to go out there and have each one find a candidate that can represent them. And the last one standing becomes God. At the very least, it makes it where they all can also agree to step down so one candidate can come over. You know, basically like a voting process, I guess, too. But you all know what this is. It's the writers of Death Note. Plenty of people get murked.
Allegedly.
Well...
They died of poor animation.
That disappoints me the most. I've seen some people out there say that this anime is one of the worst animes they've seen. I don't know if I'd go that far. I mean, I've seen Gilgamesh, but even aside from that, we saw Super HX Heroes. If I had to pick one that anime-wise I'd watch again, I'm never watching HX Heroes again as long as I live. So I don't know if I'd go that far. This anime is definitely messy, though. But yeah. Back to the plot synopsis. Our main character is named Mirai. He's down on his luck because his whole family's dead because he's Batman, except for his abusive uncle and aunt who took him in, and just because they wanted the family fortune that was left behind. So he's on the verge of committing seppuku, or Sudoku. Thus, he's saved by an angel at the last moment, like all the candidates are. Because the whole thing is, well, if their life is so bad they're willing to commit suicide, that means they at least have some urge to want to change the world in some regard. Therefore, what better way to be God than want to change the world? So, yeah. This show deals with the whole theme of trying to get over trauma and not wanting to commit self-harm on yourself, etc.
Or it tries to.
There are some moments where it comes through, others where it's... yeah. But we'll get to that, I guess, after we're done breaking down everything else. So, the animation's great, you said. Like a scene where they tried emulating the manga panels.
Yeah.
Can you say it looked terrible?
Dean, eat your heart out.
Yeah, I mean, hey, at least there's the rule things on the commercial break for the angel rules. Like Death Note did with the Shinigami. Right?
Yeah, I guess.
Speaking of things that are a mixed bag, the soundtrack. Oh man, the soundtrack.
If you can call it that.
To be fair, there are a couple of tracks I really like, which sound like, you know, the whole choir thing that would feel like it's something akin to this, where it's like Death Note. Songs like Tenkai, Onimusha Dawn of Dreams, Pro Tag Die.
No,
And
we're not covering Tiger and Bunny as much as you want to.
And Saigo no Tomo Shibi, what is with these names, are actually really good songs and sound like they would have been composed by Shiro Sagisu. No, honestly, they sound like something you would find in Bleach, the movies.
Yeah. The rest of it sounds like my ears are being assaulted.
Then the rest, a lot of the other OSTs, dubstep, and I don't mean dubstep, and it's just noise.
You'll feel like your ears are being assaulted.
Why? So that's why I said it's a really mixed bag.
We haven't gotten to the dub itself yet.
Yeah. As far as the opening, it's the song Sense by the group Bandmate, which I was already a fan of that group to begin with, which might explain why I'm a little partial to this OP. The Death Note OP is still better, I know. No one has to say that. But it's Death Note, guys. Come on, let's try to see if this one can stand on its own.
They don't even have to say the OP.
Yeah.
Light Turner.
No. But okay, so we're done with the OST. It's a mixed bag. The animation, which, from what people say, starts off okay, devolves into mess, is also mixed. The anime itself is mixed. Well, how about that, dub? The dub is the worst part about this, and honestly the thing that would probably turn a lot of people off if you're watching this in English, if everything else didn't. So this is done by Studiopolis. For the longest time I thought was Bang Zoom. I need to apologize for that, Bang Zoom. Some of your dubs are terrible, but...
I'll just say fuck LA.
Yeah, fuck them all in general. Yeah, but the studio behind Tiger and Bunny 2 did this. Yeah, I know. It's our Tiger and Bunny vid. The fucking feminist line from Golden Ryan was mandated by Netflix. I know. That came out a week back.
No, really?
I think you and I even joked saying I wouldn't be surprised that was a double. Well, it was. No one has to say that. We don't. But back to this. So, ADR director for this is David Walsh, who worked on Faraway Paladin. That dub in itself had some issues. He worked on Digimon Adventure. I don't know which one. It just says Digimon Adventure. Also, that was done 20 years ago, so back then I think dubbing was handled a lot differently than now. And Bungo Stray Dogs 1.
I mean, there's not even much to say about that. That's a comedic spin-off.
I've got nothing. He's worked on a bunch of other things too, but his dubs turn out to be very mixed. Very either hit or miss, and this is definitely a miss. For example, Mirai sang suffish in one scene instead of selfish.
Yeah. It's like when you try to. It's like when you wake up in the middle of the night, try to pee in the toilet, only to miss and realize you peed in the trash can right next to it.
What? Has that happened to you? Or are you speaking from experience? No. Okay. So, who's playing our characters? Don't worry, we're not going to have to go through all 13 candidates, because a couple of them, we don't even know who the voice actors are. Oh yeah, this cast list was barely even updated. That shows you how little people gave a shit behind the scenes on this. Even though...
What are you talking about? We were talking about how much the dub was a mess. That's an acknowledge.
It works. Alright. Let's get to this. What's up?
Yeah, a lot of these we have to either guess on based on how much we've heard them.
Yep. Which, some of these are blatant obvious, because again, we know them. While others are, we think it's this person, so this is going to be really fun. So first, some of the ones we know. Mirai, our protagonist, whose whole purpose is he hates his life until he realizes he needs to reach for happiness by any means necessary. Which yet is another theme, hold on to happiness because it is fleeting. Nothing exemplifies that more than the ending.
You have happiness?
Exactly. That is the one theme I think does work in this anime, especially with the ending. Yeah, the ending is meme-worthy, we'll talk about it in a minute, but no, it is honestly a well-handled ending. But yeah, so first Mirai is voiced by Alejandro Saab. Okay, time to talk about this dick. So over the last few months, I've learned to kind of get a little bit of a hate boner for him. Primarily one of the reasons being the company he continues to keep, who may or may not also be on this cast list, but also because some of the stuff he does just makes him come across like kind of a bitch.
What?
But, hey, I can overlook any of my biases if his performance is good. I've said it before, Chris Sabat's a cunt, but he at least brings his A-game when he needs to. This is not one of those situations.
This isn't even a Z game.
Yeah. Alright, I will be fair. In the first 8 or 9 or so episodes, he is trying. For example, there's a scene where one of his friends named Mikawa has a bomb blow up in their face, and he screams his name and is shouting how worried he is for him. He's trying there. But once you get into the back half is when you can tell he completely checked out and gets borderline Andrew Ruthvan levels of giving a shit. I don't know what happened, but yeah. Anyways, as far as who he's voiced in the past, well, I'll give examples of some of his good work. Musashi Tsukai from Anime Guitaris, And Junichi from My First Girlfriend Is a Gal. Unfortunately, that was him from 5 years ago when he still gave a shit about voicing correctly. Some of his bad roles, well... Did you ever play Rune Factory 5?
No.
The character Riker in that, Nomi had told me he doesn't sound great, but I looked it up myself just to be sure, and some of the dub cutscenes, and he's not wrong, it is not good. Also, just skimming the first episode of Irregular Magic High School Season 1, same thing there too. The thing is that he has done good work in the past. What happened? Also, we heard him in other shows recently try. Remember Love of Kill?
Yeah.
He tries there, so he's gonna pick and choose when he tries. No, fuck off with that, dude. It is your job to try in everything you are given. Look at someone like, say, Alex Lee, or Johnny Umbash, or hell, we brought him up last time, Ian Sinclair. We brought him up a few Dubster Dives back.
Yeah, he at least tries at everything he's in.
So, this whole mindset of, I'm not feeling this show anymore, I'm just not gonna... Fuck off. Let someone who's actually gonna give a shit try. So, not a big fan of his Mirai here. He gave a shit for the first fourth or third or whatever, and then it's like, I'm out. Next, though, we have his angel. His angel, Nasse, who's trying to be upbeat and cheerful no matter what the situation is. And she's voiced by Michaela Murphy, who you'd all probably know as Toph from the Avatar franchise. To my knowledge, this is her first anime, and we can both agree it shows.
Diet.
She says the diet building instead of the diet building. I've got no words for that. Her performance isn't god-awful, it's just you can tell she's not used to voicing an anime, and a lot of her delivery is just off. Sure, some of that is on directing, I'm sure, but I don't know. I feel like this should have gone to someone who's a little more experienced, since it is a major main character. Voicing in an anime is different than a cartoon die. So, you ready for our next main character, man?
Yeah.
Saki, our main female, and Mirai's love interest, who's also trying to be cheerful, I guess. See, her whole thing is her and Mirai were childhood friends, but when Mirai's family died, they split apart, basically, and drifted apart. And she joined the kids teasing him because she wanted to fit in. So she feels bad about that. Now she's trying to get back on his good side. Anyway, she's voiced by Laura Post. Actually, we haven't covered her in a while here. Worst girl Diana from Little Witch Academia, right, Di?
What a story you have.
Or Melissa from B&A, which you keep telling me to watch. I probably should get around to that.
You want a good dub after that?
Yeah. And, I mean, Shido's fine, honestly. There's a couple of moments where you could tell she sounds a little off, but compared to some of the other ones...
But those are ones that can genuinely take it as directing.
Yeah, she's fine here. Next, we have her angel, Revel. The angel of trickery until he gets a promotion. Yeah, I guess we should explain that real quick. So the angels work on 3 things. Second rank, first rank, and special rank. See, the angels give their candidates the ability to murk each other or have each other fall in love by giving them a red arrow if you're a second rank or a first rank, where if you shoot the person with it, they fall in love. They also give their candidates wings so they can fly. Or a white arrow if you're a special rank, which means you can kill the person just by shooting them. So, I guess like the Death Note, except it's a white arrow, and you can't... It's kind of more boring, actually, if I think about it. Because you can't make people die in over-the-top ways.
Yeah, you can just make them love in over-the-top, like, wait, what?
Yeah. Anyways, so Revel's a second-rank angel, the Angel of Trickery. And he's voiced by Damon Mills. Why he was posted first instead of Mirai's angel, we already said why earlier. So, Damon Mills. What more needs to be said? Anyone who's been following any of this shit for the last 2 months knows that it's kind of been confirmed that he's a pedo. Anyway, he's known for voicing Midorima from Kuroko's Basketball and Chica from Sounds of Life. I brought both of those up to make everyone out there feel like, oh, fuck, he is. That's going to be annoying going through those dubs again if I ever want to go back to those good shows. Yeah, awkwardism.
What an asshole.
Anyway. Okay. Damon Mills being a monster aside, I guess he does okay as Revel. It's funny because Nomi mentioned before when he marathoned Violet Evergarden, he was like, man, why does this guy have to be such a piece of shit? He's actually trying in this scene. Isn't that always the case?
Yeah.
But don't worry, we'll be hearing again from Damon Mills in a bit, because this dub has the biggest issue that we've seen yet coming in a while. But let's move on to someone who's actually good. We have Metropoliman, real name Kanade. He's basically a pseudo-surrogate for Light Yagami in this series. He's a dick and wants to become God by any means necessary, so he'll kill all the other candidates.
Kill them until they die.
Exactly, man, you nailed it. Kill the Anyway. So, Kanade is basically very rich. His family owns a company. He inherited it from them, like Batman. And, yeah, he created a hero suit for himself based on a popular anime so he can win the public's attention on him, just like Kira. As he says, he'll punish the evildoers.
Glitter.
I hate you. Anyway... Metropoliman, who I'm going to call him as from now on, from this point forward, is voiced by Griffin Burns. And he's one of the MVPs of the dub. It's not even a competition.
It's really not.
And hey, he's the Tortilla, or Tarantula, from Genshin Impact. Who's also... Oh, you played Scarlet Nexus. That character's named Nagi? Nagi? I haven't played...
Yes.
Okay.
He's whatever you want him to be.
Either way, there you go. And honestly, you could tell he loves this role. He's hamming it the fuck up when giving speeches about how the world should be. And I could see, like, if Death Note were dubbed from LA and he were available, he could be a good fit for Light. And hey, Metropoliman, some of the shit he says makes sense. He said that if he were God, he would make a world where people can say whatever they want without having to hide behind a mask in fear of being attacked by the mob mentality.
Someone set us up the mob.
Exactly. So that type of shit makes sense. Even though he's fucking insane and a lot of the other stuff he says is like, yeah, man, you're insane. But yeah. You can tell Griffin Burns had a lot of fun with his fucking role, and I mean, well, sure, any of us would.
Loves voicing characters like that.
Yeah. As far as his angel, I'm going through these in the order they're introduced, so we don't know his angel yet. We'll get to her, though. But first...
Man, will we get to her?
We have what I have dubbed the stadium candidates. You might be wondering, what do I mean by that? Early on in the show, they go to a stadium for a standoff, and 3 of the candidates that are red shirts get murked here. I don't know if they were expounded upon more in the manga. Someone will have to let me know on that. So the first candidate we have is Demochi.
Honestly, this is where it really starts shitting the bed, so I'm pretty sure they were at least to a more extent than this guy.
Yeah. So Demochi is the first candidate, voiced by Bryce Papenbrook. You don't know. Aaron Yeager from AOT. Are you a Yeagerist?
Yeah. He's also Kermit in Odd Taxi.
Dude, that Kermit voice was great. I don't even remember that character's name. Odd Taxi's a great show. Go check that one out. And he's Shiro from the UFO Table Fate universe, I guess. And, yeah, Bryce does solid work. The only thing I have to complain about is how many fucking characters he voices. In fact, Damochi literally shoots Bryce with a red arrow. So yes, Bryce falls in love with himself. And you might wonder, is that a one? No, it is not. You're getting a lot of that later on. How did anyone look at that and think, yes? But yeah, Damochi, you don't get much on it. We don't even know who the fuck his angel was. He gets murked that quickly. Just like his best friend here, Takayama. Voiced by, this is one we have to guesswork on, Nicholas Roy.
I'm pretty sure it's...
Who's Nakahara from Bungo Stray Dogs, or as we call him, Gravity Man. And Matt from the newest Digimon Last Evolution movie. And, I mean, there's not much to go off of with this particular role, because, again, he gets murked right away.
Spoilers, it's not the last one.
Yeah. All we can find on these two is that Damochi and Takayama are bestest friends, and they agree to help each other out in the god candidacy. That's it. Not much is given to them in the anime.
So they also got a flashback and everything. We probably did get more on them in the manga.
Yeah. Well, every battle royale needs a couple of red shirts. I skipped one of them already, named Martinez or some shit, because I didn't even know who voiced him, and he only had like 2 lines. But yeah. Moving on from these two, we have the third candidate to get murked here. Oh, I think her name is Chio. I'm saying that because this is the only named role that's on the cast list by this voice actor, so...
Yeah.
Anyway, she's voiced by Ann Yako, and no, it won't be the last time you hear her either. You all probably know her as A from Genshin Impact. Worst girl die!
What a story.
Or Mistia from Papa the Cinephile, Ghibli's newest film. Is it Ghibli or Ghibli? I'm gonna keep calling it Ghibli because I know it makes someone mad. Anyway.
Well, you say we would hear her again if you didn't know a thing about that not being for like 12 episodes later.
She also voices a news anchor or something reporting on Metropoliman.
I guess that...
But yeah, again, she's doing a lolly voice here and gets murked immediately. So there's not much to go off of. She tries with what she's given, but it's one of those things, like, not much. We'll have a lot to say about her other roles later on, though. So, yeah. If I was gonna say spoiler, it's like, guys, come on. These characters just showed up in episode 3. It's still early on. Now the next candidate, who I actually really do like as a character, and I think they did okay with, Mukaido. Mukaido's a tailor that makes clothes and stuff. But unfortunately, he's suffering from cancer, and... yeah. This god candidacy thing basically is his last chance to leave money and stuff behind to provide for his family. So he uses the red arrow to donate stuff to his wife and daughter. So that's kind of cool. And his whole goal is he wants to kill Metropoliman because he believes that he makes the world a dangerous place for his family before he goes. He doesn't care about becoming God. And he's voiced by Andrew Kishido, which every time we hear him now, we just keep thinking, oh, hey, look, it's Cancer Man. Kind of fucked up, but can't not think it because of this stupid show. Anyway.
It's like, at least we'll always have a nickname to call him by because of this piece of shit.
Yeah. Anyway. He's Koki from The World Ends With You anime adaptation. Not sure he voiced him in the games. Don't fucking know. And Jolenic from Belle, another Ghibli film that I haven't seen and not interested in that one, to be honest. Yeah. And he does okay, I guess. I don't know. Some of his line delivery also sounds off in places. And particularly one scene where this anime does shine through, but is kind of ruined by the awkward dubisms. He made a dress for his daughter to have at her wedding, but she's not old enough yet, so she's still really small. So she has a conversation with him like, Daddy, just wait for me to grow up and then you'll see me wear it. And he's like, alright, that's fine, princess. Remember, he's dying from cancer, so he leaves the room and he starts crying his eyes out knowing he won't be there for her wedding. Again, it's a really powerful scene that's ruined by the awkward dub. So, honestly though, I blame this one more on direction, because you can tell there's moments where he is trying. Speaking of which, his daughter is Laura Post. Again, doing a lolly voice, which we should probably get into that now, being as how we're at his angel. Yeah, Dai, we could finally talk about the worst casting of ad voices we've seen in quite some time.
Okay.
So, his angel's name is Bray, the Angel of Knowledge. And she's voiced by Jeremy Lee, who you'd all probably know as Kotaro from Kotaro Lives Alone. Dai, you need to watch that show after this. No, I'm serious, that is one of the best modern anime. Yeah, she's also the main of that. I don't know that character's name. No, but seriously, man, watch Kotaro Lives Alone. I covered that last time. It's one of the best modern anime I've seen in a while on Netflix. Anyway. And should mention she also voices Mesa, Metropoliman's angel, the Angel of Greed. She's doing two different voices for these angels, at least. Like, for this one, she's doing her higher-pitched voice, and Mesa, she's doing her deep voice. But if you want to know who else she voices, well... she's Mirai's mom, she's Mirai's sister, she's Shota Mirai, and she's Lolly's Saki. Keep in mind, Laura Post just voiced the Lolly a second ago, voicing Mukaido's daughter. I got nothing for this. And if anyone's wondering, yes, the ad voices continue. If Alejandro, Damon, every single one of these people is numerous characters.
Walla, ad voices, both at the same time.
They even talk over each other. It's really bad. Again, we already mentioned how some characters fall in love with themselves.
Like, you know, last time we got this about Persona.
Yeah. This is up there. Anyway, I'd say Jeremy does a good job as both angels, but then episode 10 happens, where apparently she got incredibly sick, yet still continued coming into work. It sounds like a different person almost, man. You know it's still her, but she sounds like she's dying.
And it's like, yeah... most other people would be like, let's delay the show for a week until she gets better, or just temporarily replace her for these episodes.
That's not how LA studios work now, though.
Well, they do occasionally.
Yeah.
My Violet Evergarden.
Yeah. Well... yeah, so for the like episodes, I just want to say 10 through 13 or so, if memory serves, it's around there. She sounds awful as both angels. You can tell it is killing her to do her deep voice, especially. It's like, Jeremy Lee, just go home. Take a week or two off. It's okay. This is terrible. So, yeah, one of the really good voice actors is ruined by that shit. In this dub. But hey, it's time for more double casting on the next candidate, Hajime, which you could sum up with a meme of a Stephen Lynch song. If y'all don't know Stephen Lynch, look him up. He's hilarious. Damn, that's an ugly-ass baby. Yeah, so Hajime's whole thing is he was born so ugly, everyone hated him.
The end.
To the point of maliciously bullying him into him wanting to commit suicide, so he got saved by an angel. And, yeah. He uses his red arrows to get plastic surgery in order to make himself look better, but it can't help his awkward talking to people problem. So he looks up to Metropoliman for support, because he sees
he's... anything makes him look ugly, it's that animation.
Maybe that was the point. But you see, Metropoliman doesn't afraid of anyone. So he admires him and he simps for him. That's his whole thing. Anyway, Hajime is voiced by Nicholas Roy. In this one, we're 100% certain it's him, so... Yeah. And honestly, I feel he does good in this role more so than the other one.
This is like one of the other stand-up performances on.
Dude, you could tell he's trying to. He's actually having fun with it. He's like, I don't care. This show's dumb edgy. I'm going for it. But now we have his angel, Balta, the angel of intuition. If anyone's remembering how I remember all these names, I had to write them down as I was going through the second run-through of this show, because the cast list had none of these people posted at this point. So, yeah. Anyway, Balta is voiced by Zeno Robinson, doing his deep voice. Oh, I've got a lot to say about his performance of one of his other characters coming in a bit. But as this character, not really much to complain about. He's trying, I guess.
He's like barely there. There's nothing even to really say about that angel.
Well, he's Garfield from ReZero, which how many times do you think he accidentally added a D to that in their performances of that dub?
Yeah, everyone else probably accidentally added a D at least once.
And he's Kagami from Kuroko's Basketball.
I understand why they abbreviated it to Garf.
Yeah. Anyway, he does okay as Balta, but it's his next character. Who's the next candidate to show up? Susumu. Who's an 11-year-old Shota, voiced by Zeno Robinson again. And oh my god, this is awful. Make it stop.
Who greenlit this casting?
I don't even know. Look, if Seno used some pull to get into this show because Platinum End was hyped, this I don't think is what he meant. I don't know.
Already in it. He was an angel already.
Yeah, and you could have had him voice one of the other candidates or something. Not this.
No, he just voices the best friend.
So, yeah, we're going to get to the side characters after the candidates that matter. Hence why we said we have a lot of people to go through. We're probably only around at the halfway point, honestly. This shows a lot of characters. And a lot of them matter, too, so I can't really skip out on a lot of them. But yeah, so Susumu, he likes fun. He thinks having the arrows and everything and the god candidates is the most fun he's ever had in his life. So Zeno's having the voice a very hyperactive 11-year-old, and it is awful. He is killing his throat doing it. You can tell he's probably hating himself for this. And you know, it's not like they have other voice actors on the cast list who are known for voicing Shotas. It's not like we're going to get to Christina V in a little bit, who's literally known for voicing Killua in Hunter x Hunter or Bennett in Genshin Impact.
No, that would be stupid.
Just... why?
He attempted to voice that character.
Oh, yeah.
He should never have been cast as it. Holy fuck.
Speaking of Susumu, I guess we should bring that up. Susumu's Trump mask and the anime change to it. So, okay, before anyone says that, I don't care what anyone's political viewpoints are. Vote whoever the hell you like. Doesn't matter to me. Everyone's political viewpoints are their own, etc. But
I mean, they just made it. It looks like a green blob.
Yep,
honestly.
they changed the mask. So,
you can tell that's what it's supposed to be, but it's the animation.
No, I don't think it was the animation. I think they just changed it for some form of alteration, which this is some form of, if you want to call it censorship, I don't know. I'm conflicted on it, mainly because having it be a Trump mask now would be really dated as hell. When the manga was coming out, it made sense for obvious reasons. He was present, all that. But now, them changing it, yeah. It's not present anymore. Kind of date this a bit more. So at the very least, I'm kind of fine with the change, I guess. But yeah. So Susumu, go sit in the corner and think about how you were miscast, as we talk about your angel.
Go think about how your voice was probably dying by the end of this show.
Well, Susumu's angel is Panema, the angel of games, voiced by Bryce Papenbrook again. Doing his happy-go-lucky voice, because he's the weirdo. Yeah, it's Bryce typecasted, I guess. I'm just sad we didn't get more of this angel. You could tell he was fun.
Yeah, but
So,
we didn't get a lot of anything because they like to rush through shit.
yeah. Well, after Panema, we have Tamari, who's Christina V, as we mentioned. And we already mentioned two of her more major roles, but she's also Noelle in Blaze Blue and Sailor Mars in the new dub of Sailor Moon. So, yeah. Which, again, they could have gotten someone else to voice Tamari and gotten her to voice Susumu. Or, hell, double cast! They haven't been above it before now. Why stop here? I should also mention Christina V was also Mukaido's wife. So, yeah. Anyway, Tamari's whole thing is she doesn't care who becomes God, just as long as she can keep her red arrow so she can convince people to give her money and, you know, basically be lazy for the rest of her life and have other people provide for her. So, Christina V does an adequate job. Not really much to complain about. She's still someone who likes putting effort into her shit. As far as her angel, Yazeli, I have no idea. I'm serious, I don't know who the hell this dude's voiced by. I don't think you do either, I'm guessing.
I mean, we both agreed when we were talking about he sounds familiar, but I can't place him.
Yeah, and he doesn't talk as much either, so... Your guess is as good as mine, guys. I don't know, then watch, as soon as this goes up, oh hey, the cast list's been fully updated. It's typically how that shit works.
So, like, it's the first time you'd have to make an update video.
Well, after her, we have the two last candidates to mention, and they're probably two of the best voice actors here. Shuji Nakaumi, his whole thing is he wants to make suicide a viable option for people who actually want to check out. Yeah, he's one of those edgelord freaks. Hell, Tamari even calls him an edgelord, and that's his nickname. I guarantee that's a dub-only term. Unless you're gonna say the Japanese are known for calling people edgelords.
I mean, edgelords is a pretty common term now at this point.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Anyway, he's voiced by AJ Beckles, who you'll probably know as Takemichi from Tokyo Revengers, which David Walsh also directed. That dub came out a lot more solid than this. What the fuck happened here? And he's also Shiki from Kimono Jihen, show we previously covered. Shameless plug-in.
Plugins.
And, yeah, he does alright here as Shuji. I don't have any complaints either. Again, AJ still has passion for the industry, much like Anyako and some of the other ones, so you're not really going to get a bad performance out of him. At least that I've heard so far. As far as his angel, Ogiro, the Angel of Darkness. She's voiced by Anyako. See, told you we weren't hearing the last of her. Also, Shuji's brother is voiced by Bryce, again. So...
Of course.
Yeah. Anyway, Anyako is the Angel of Darkness. Her doing her deeper voice, and this one you do get more out of her. And she does good as the Angel. I don't have any problems with it. But it's time! It's time for the main event!
Oh, it is?
The main candidate who saved us in the last, like, 6 to 8 episodes, Yoneda. Yoneda is basically this show's stand-in for L. He doesn't like interacting with people because he thinks it's a hassle and would rather focus on his own thing, be it, in this case, researching. Much like L didn't like interacting with people because, you know, detectiving. He also doesn't like getting overly emotional and all that stuff, and all that.
I mean, he's also pretty close to being barefoot, like, he's wearing nothing but sandals.
Yeah. And he's voiced by David Vincent. Thank God they got someone here who's probably considered a legend at this point. David Vincent's also one of the other MVPs.
David Ernest.
Yeah, why does he go under that alias for Fate? It's so weird. But he's Ben from Resident Evil 2 Remake. A human.
Hello, human.
Hello, human. He's also Grimmjow in Bleach, which they better get him back in the final season, I swear to fuck. And he's Richter Belmont in Castlevania, Rondo of Blood, and Dracula X Chronicles. Yes, we have a Belmonto in the room, Die.
Belmont do.
Yes. Anyway.
You want a second take?
Nope, I don't need a second take. Because it's Platinum End. No second takes are given.
Yeah, that checks out.
Anyway, David Vincent owns this fucking role. In fact, if he were L in Death Note, if it were dubbed out of LA, I think I'd be cool with that too. He's really good here. The way he comes across like such a smug asshole talking down to everyone around him. In a way, it almost feels like, okay, you know what? Let me come in here and show you all how volleying's really done. When he's talking to a couple of the other candidates, for example. But yeah, you could tell he's having fun here. As far as his angel, Muni, the angel of destruction, I guess like Beerus, and Yako. Again. The stupid part is both these angels show up at around the same time. And yes, Ogiro and Muni do end up talking to each other.
And she at least tries to give them both a slightly different voice.
She does. In fact, I don't think a casual would notice it's the same Va right away, at least. So, yeah.
But again, she's used to talking to herself, just like in that story. Again,
I was so confused when watching that, man. Like, oh my god, Blaze Blue! Even Kellogg, stop talking to yourself. It's weird. But yeah. And again, we already mentioned, she's one of the newer voice actors that actually gives a damn in everything she does, so. It's like in the back half is when they started getting a lot of voice actors that, like, you know what, let's get Bryce back in, let's get this one in, let's get the... It's like, couldn't we have had these people from the start? Hell, Yashihime is Crispin Freeman, get him in here.
Yeah, and her news anchor was long replaced by the point, by
Michaela Murphy.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's the news anchor is the one that says the Diet building instead of Die. Never heard anyone call it the Diet building before.
Hit from Universe 11.
Anyway, so yeah, that's all the candidates and angels worth going through. But if you think we're done, we're not. We've got a bunch of side characters that are relevant to run through too. First, Nina Mikawa, who's Kanade or Metropoliman's best friend. Voiced by Zeno Robinson, doing his normal voice. Which I guess you could give Zeno credit there. He gave the angel he voiced his deep as hell voice. He gave this one his normal voice. And he tried something with the Shota voice, Susumu, but... Yeah, Zeno, don't ever do that again, man.
You can try as much as you want, but being miscast is still being miscast.
Good lord, is this the voice he's going to try doing for Tai and Digimon?
Yeah, probably not if he wants to have vocal cords left.
Anyway, so according to Nina Mikawa, because Kanade asked, was like, so if you could have one wish if you were God, what would you wish for? He's like, I want nothing but pretty women in the world. Ha, my man. Anyway, jokes aside, I don't have any complaints here. Again, it's Zeno doing his normal voice, so he's not killing himself doing this role.
And he's just best friend Kun, so he's he's not really notable in any regard.
But his girlfriend's also here, Sayuri, voiced by Christina V, as we mentioned before, doing her higher pitch Moe-esque voice. So again, have her as multiple characters, but not Susumu. I'm never letting that go, guys. It's just stupid.
Not have the casting that was right there, right in front of you.
Again, I guess she comes across as a cutesy girl fine enough. Not really much to say.
She's only in like a few scenes anyways.
I love the scene where the candidates are flying over. Dude, there's a scene where like the candidates are flying overhead, and she's talking to Nina Mikawa, and she's like, "Hey, look, a shooting star." He's like, "Yeah, but it's flying upwards." She's like, "Oh, who cares? Make a wish on it anyways." Like, if I saw a star flying upwards, I'd be fucking scared shitless, man. I'd be worried as fuck. Like, is the world ending?
Aliens are real.
Well, yeah, like, is the world ending? What the fuck? This bitch doesn't have a care in the world. Anyway, next we have Detective Hoshi, voiced by Damon Mills, again, which I feel like this detective guy was supposed to be introduced maybe earlier, because he's looking into the God Candidates thing, because he sees all the weird shit going on.
I mean, they panned over to them during the stadium incident.
Yeah, but they don't pan over to him again until like 10 episodes later. That's what I mean. Like, he just fucks off. Anyway.
Adaptation-itis.
Yeah, so Damon Mills doing his deeper voice here, whereas for the Angel, his higher-pitched voice. Casual might not notice right away, I guess, so it's a thing. But hey, you get him telling Mirai, a 15-year-old, to get in the car right now. Art imitating life. Fuck off, Damon Mills. Anyway, as far as the other detective that's with him, his partner, Detective Yumiki, voiced by Laura Post. At least she's doing her deeper voice here. But, yeah, Saki ends up shooting her after she shows up with a red arrow, so you get Yumiki falling in love with Saki, or Laura Post falling in love with Laura Post.
Just like JJK.
I didn't even think about that. Damn it, Die.
Except that was just a post-credit scene instead of an actual character they interact with in almost every episode.
Yeah. Anyway. Not much complaining, though, as far as Laura Post goes, aside from the fact she's done her deep voice as Mirai's teacher in school, and a bunch of other people, too, but that's par for the course. This is a major character, it's not bad. Now, moving on to Kanade's sister, Metropoliman's sister. So one of the things you learn about him is the reason he was contemplating seppuku is he accidentally killed his sister. Before preserving her body in a taxidermist-like way, Chief Iron style from Resident Evil.
It's over now. Door's locked.
Damn it! Couldn't fucking resist. Anyway, his sister is voiced by Michaela Murphy, and I'm sorry, her performance here was utter trash. I had to sit through this twice, man. When she's accidentally falling, getting ready to die, she goes, oh, it's almost comical. It's like, what the fuck was... What? What was the directing here? Someone sat there and it's like, yeah, it's fine.
No, that's alright.
Like, this is supposed to be a tense scene where you find out about one of the main Antag's backstories, and it's ruined by this. Like, dude, the first time we saw that, I was holding back from laughing. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
I'm pretty sure I did watch.
Yeah, like... Jesus! Anyway, as far as Metropoliman's friends, we've got a few. Don't worry, guys, we're getting near the end. We're almost done. So, we have Misari, who's a teenager that's a rapist serial killer. Did we mention this show was kind of edgy yet?
No.
Anyway, she's voiced by Carrie Keranen. Being typecasted, I suppose. I know, Di, you were hoping she'd call someone retarded. I'm sorry, you don't get that here. This show's edgy, but hey, it still has to be politically correct and all. Anyway, she's known for voicing Casca in Berserk. Holy shit, I miss that dub so much. And Vert and Romp from the Neptunia franchise, or I guess current Vert. And, I mean, she's playing a psycho, so she's feeling right at home in one of the standout performances here. Also, you get her fapping to climax. Actually, I don't think it's called fapping when a woman does it. Well, whatever the fuck. You get that, so I know some of you people out there are like, yeah, I want to hear Carrie Keranen do it. Well, there you go. Now, no one ever has to be degenerate again.
I'm pretty sure you can look elsewhere, too.
Oh, you can. Like her next character, Fuyuko, who's another psycho that says she's about to climax when getting off to seeing people get murked. Yeah, you get two for the price of one in the same show. So Fuyuko, who also works with Metropolitan... Yep. She's creating a virus that will spread across Japan and cause people to melt to death. Yeah, that's her whole thing. And again, Carrie Keranen doesn't give a bad performance, it's just... There's no getting around it. A casual right away would notice this. Like, wait a minute, I just heard this person do the exact same performance 5 minutes ago. Well, like 5 episodes back, but still. So, not a bad performance, just terrible double casting. Speaking of people that probably could have stood to be used more... What's up?
She could have stood to be used more. She's literally just 3 people.
Oh yeah, she's also Mirai's aunt, who's also crazy as fuck. So...
3 for 3.
Yeah. Anyway, the last one of Metropoliman's servants is Ryuji, a military man weapons expert. Check out this gun! That's his whole character, and it's kind of hilarious and over the top.
No, I dropped my gun!
He's voiced by Bill Butts. I wonder if he's the cousin of Larry.
No, that's silly.
Anyway, Blood from the Faraway Paladin and Jack from One Piece. I'm guessing it's the Funimation dub, but it didn't specify, so who the hell knows? I doubt he was working during the 4Kids era, though I don't know.
You never know, huh? A lot of people have been resurfacing.
And he's someone I wish was used more in this dub. He's having so much fun with this role, man. He really is.
Out of all... you're like, oh, you choose now of all times to do a one and done? The fuck?
Yeah. I don't know, man. But hey, man. We're almost done. Okay, the last one to go for is the former god who's dying, I guess. And it's Andrew Kishino again, so I don't even have to go over any more roles.
Oh,
so... we're finally at the end. Yeah, I could go over some of the other one-off characters, but guys... please don't make me do that. We've already gone over enough. See, Dai's even dying over there or something. Alright. But yeah, so... as far as the show as a whole... I think you liked it a lot less than I did, to be honest. We had to stare at the animation, so... that makes sense.
The animation drags it down by a lot of points.
Yeah, so I'd say if anyone cares to watch the show, one, read the manga. Just go for that instead. Everyone is talking about how brilliant the art and illustrations are, which makes sense. I mean... hey, this guy did illustrations for Castlevania Judgment on the Wii. Or did you forget about that, Doc?
Or watch the sub.
Yeah, and I can't believe I'm saying that.
Dave can only carry it so much.
David Vincent and Griffin Burns are easily MVPs of the dub. There's a couple of other standouts like Ann Yako, AJ Beckles, Christina V's okay.
But they weren't major enough to do much with what they were given.
As far as Andrew Ruth Van, there's a few this go around. Michaela Murphy for her awkward delivery. Again, this is why you don't jump... some voice actors shouldn't jump into anime right away as a main character without building up as ad voices, one-off characters first. This is why they usually start you off as those and you work your way up the card. See another WWE thing.
Awards. Is that what we're calling this?
Yep. So, she's one. Zenua Susumu is two, because again, he's trying, but it's killing him. He can't do it.
Well, this award goes to whoever the casting director was.
Yeah, that's not on him. Yeah. So, as far as number one,
an attempt wasn't made, but it was good for no one involved.
As far as the main one, it's Mirai. I don't know what the fuck happened, but Alejandro, dude, really. The first, 6 to 8 episodes, like I said, he sounds okay, he's caring, but then he just checks out completely. There is no greater example than episode 13 and 14, when they're having a standoff, him and Metropoliman. Griffin Burns is stealing the show, and Alejandro's just, yeah, okay, that's nice, Like, really, dude? That's when you can, it's like... you all know MK11? You can tell Ronda Rousey is garbage when she's playing off of Erica Lindbeck.
Yep.
That's a perfect way to tell if a voice actor is giving a shit or not. Is if they're playing off someone who cares.
It's playing off of anybody.
But yeah, so this dub is not great. The anime, it's all over the place. The OST's all over the place. I'd be more angry and pissed off if it wasn't for the whole thing of it's just an oddity to me. Because how did this go so wrong? That's what I want to know. I want to see what happened on Platinum End. Seriously, what the fuck?
It's a failure in every regard.
Yeah. Yeah. That ending's still pretty solid, though. No. Speaking of which, guess we should get to the ending. So spoilers are coming, and I do recommend at least checking out the manga, because I do think the anime, or the manga itself, does have okay themes. Even if it is edgy as hell at times, like seriously, the Death Note duo were, they were edgy before, but this was them going through their edgelord emo phase, I think. But in the fun way, at least I feel.
They took those potato chips and said, let's put hot sauce on them.
That's what it's like. And yeah, I didn't hate this anime, so if you all want, you could check it out, give your own thoughts. I know you said the animation's dog shit. That I can't say on that, so it's up to you all.
Especially when they try to imitate panels. Yeah.
So you all make up your own minds on that. And last thing, since we brought up the whole thing, yeah, putting a GoFundMe in the link for Billy Kometz, who unfortunately was diagnosed with cancer recently, in the description of this vid. So if y'all want, y'all can go support it. I mean, I did. Because why not? It's Billy Kometz. He's fucking cool. And fuck knows I want him to get better soon. But yeah. So now, going into spoilers. So the ending. Die. What did you think of the ending where everyone, or once, was a god who was so emo, everyone died? The end. Perfect ending.
Yeah, who would have thought making the kid that was emo god would have been a bad idea?
Well, their logic made sense because their thing, like, because he didn't value life, he would be unbiased, I guess, was their whole thing, and he wouldn't be sacrificing anything like the rest of them would. For example, Mirai couldn't become God because he didn't want to leave Saki alone, because he would be alone without her for millenniums, and she'd be alone on Earth by herself. So,
yeah,
they always tried giving
her.
Yeah. Fucking David Vincent, Yoneda. Yoneda was great. As far as the rest of the ending, though, where everyone gets murked, again, it fits in with the whole theme of he was God for 6 years before he decided to pull the plug on humanity. And Mirai and Saki are even like, you know, the world's ending, but at least we were able to experience true happiness no matter how brief. Going into the theme that the show started with, hold on to what you can, because happiness is fleeting. That's why, yeah, you could meme the ending, everyone dying, but it does work with the themes the show is going for, which makes it work from a writing perspective, too.
I think we liked it for the wrong reasons.
We did. We really did. Because honestly, at that point, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Just pull the plug. And David Vincent was the last one standing. It's fucking great. But yeah.
And then it brought back the other meme. Oh, the city is a wasteland with nothing but clothes behind. Cell is back.
Cell is back. Or you could just say War of the Worlds with the aliens that zap people and leave nothing but clothes. Yeah. It doesn't help when at the very end, it has the beings of energy getting ready to send a seed down to Earth again as it's a lifeless planet, basically preparing to start the whole process again. So, that's why some people, like, if you're reading the manga for 8 years, I could see some people being like, wait, that's the ending? We're all just dust in the wind? A Kansas song?
Yeah, isn't it great?
But on the other hand, the ending does work with what they were going for. So I could, like, if you're a manga fan for a decade, this ending I could see being divisive as hell. But in the anime, I think it works.
Or an anime that's unanimously hated, everyone loved.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't hate this anime. I sat through it a second time. I think it's sitting like a 6 on Mao, which you said's too high.
It's
for me. That's
too high.
Yeah, it's about where I put it.
With how bad the animation gets, it deserves no more than a 4.
Yeah, maybe the Blu-rays will rectify that and clean some of that shit up.
I doubt that.
Well, I'm saying it's possible.
They're still cleaning up such failure, especially with something that they know is not received.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's sitting under a 6 for me. It would have been the first time. I think I enjoyed the DMC anime more than you did. Because you said the jump cuts ruined a lot of the scenes.
Exactly. Animation is the whole part. All you're judging it on is the
audio,
everything else.
Yeah, the audio video gaming network.
I'm surprised you didn't mark it down a point just for that dubstep block.
Yeah, that's true, but some of the other OST I really like too, so it's... I don't know, I guess it evened itself out for me. But yeah. So I was saying, like, guys, check it out for yourself and give it your own thoughts, see what you think. Like with the DMC anime, I saw someone online say, treat it like a character study of Dante and you'll enjoy it more. And it's like, I guess that makes sense when it comes to that. Because, yeah, the action in that is... Yeah. Just like the action in this. You were saying the action scenes are really rough at times.
Yep.
But yeah.
Every lazy shortcut that you have seen everywhere else is used here.
Yeah. And the other thing, too, is, at the end of the day, I know we were trying to judge this on its own, but guys, this is done by the Platinum End duo. They marketed this, like, by the people behind Platinum End. So, they could have easily...
By the people behind Platinum End?
Yeah, the duo. Mangaka or whatever, and his illustrator.
Yeah, I think you meant to say...
Yeah.
You said Platinum End?
Yeah, fuck off, you know what I meant. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, people behind Death Note, working on a new work or something. They should have made this seasonal. Like, do one season every 6 months or something, 12 episodes a set.
Give it the budget each season needs.
Yeah, because this studio, I haven't seen all the works, so I'm not going to say they're complete dog shit like Dean's turned into now. 90% of Dean's works are shit. But it's clear that something was mishandled with the budgeting here. And there was 87 chapters in 24 episodes. You don't do that. So...
It just works.
So... That's why, like, 6 out of 10, yeah, you might, for me at least, you might say, oh, it's average, not the worst. Yeah, but at the same time, guys, if you compare this to Death Note, it's not even night and day on which one to go check out.
I'm also just comparing it to other dubs that right around the same time we were watching this.
Yeah, that too. Hell, we had Tiger and Bunny too, which around this out of the same studio. I already said Kotaro Lives Alone, which you got to check out. That dub is fucking really solid. Hell, Kakegurui Sentai dub. That dub had more effort put in.
Vampire dies in no time.
Yeah. This dub is just all over the place. We're reiterating ourselves, though. Not much else to say. I guess, let us know your thoughts on Platinum End, who your favorite candidate was. Mine's either Yoneda or Kanade, Metropolitan Man, because they hammed it up so much, and the two voice actors had a lot of fun with it, too.
Yeah.
And the second they killed off Kanade, man, I was like, damn it. Now we're stuck with these assholes forever. And then Yoneda showed up and was like...
pretty great.
What's up?
I said the ugly baby was pretty great.
Oh, how'd you Yeah. He fell in love! This is love! That was great. Yeah. Not the worst anime at the end of the day, but could have been so much better.
But it should be treated fairly. You shouldn't compare it to Death. Okay, there's not doing the comparisons, especially with the rules on the commercial breaks being the exact same rules, except with Angel swapped out for Shinigami.
I actually like that concept, though. Like, this, you could theorize that this takes place in the same universe as Death Note and follows the heaven shit.
That's the reason why, yeah, you can't not talk about Death Note in this.
Yeah, especially a lot of the similarities to Death Note too. Like, the angels can't be seen by normal people unless they do a specific thing to a normal human to let them see them, much like the Shinigami, where a human has to touch the Death Note. So, which, yes, coming up at some point, because watching this show makes me want to go back and rewatch Death Note. We're doing a Death Note retrospective soon. Don't know when. Don't rush us, but it will be soon.
Light turner.
No! If we cover that movie, no need to Dubster Dive it. We'll just talk about it, I guess, in a normal discussion thing.
It's so stupid.
It is. But yeah. As far as next, well, turns out Megalobox is leaving Netflix, so we've been wanting to watch that one for a while. Guess we'll do Megalobox.
Or I guess you rewatch and then watch season 2 for the
I keep hearing great things. Yep, keep hearing great things about season 2. Season 1 also I don't remember that much of, because in the back half it was airing during the Vic shit, so at that point I was pseudo checked out, only half paying attention. I was like, fuck man, I'm almost numb to this. So, be kind of new for me too. But yeah. Anyways, thanks again for watching, guys. Let us know your thoughts on Platinum End. Maybe you hate it as much as I did. Maybe you... it's a guilty pleasure for you like it is for me. I don't know. But, yeah. At the end of the day, we've learned one thing from this.
In the end, everyone died, and we got a reset. The world was a better place.
I think Light Yagami just wrote everyone's names in the Death Note, and that's what happened. But alright guys, thanks again for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic day. Please comment, like, and all that good stuff if you would. Be much appreciated. Anyways, till next time.